So at this point, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that the 2020 C8 mid-engine Corvette has been released. But I'm not here to talk about that. So at the beginning of the year, Toyota released the Toyota Supra. They're just now starting to hit dealer showrooms, and the greedy dealers are starting to charge anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 over MSRP of what they are calling a adjusted market value, which is basically a load of crap. It's greedy America at its finest. Not sure how they're doing overseas in like Europe and stuff with their dealers overcharging or not. But here in the States, it's pretty common practice anytime a new vehicle hits the showroom floor. It's happened with Hellcats, happened with the Demon, Red Eyes, it's happened with GTR when it first came out. Anything that's basically new and is highly sought after, has a lot of hype anyways, is going to have this so-called adjusted market value, i.e. load of crap. What I really want to talk about is something that's a little more on the ridiculous side, which you may or may not know when you go to buy the Supra. It may be announced to you when you are purchasing it, if you're one of the lucky ones that are doing so. But in order to understand the ridiculousness behind this, we need to understand where it's coming from. So we all know that the Supra is pretty much a Z4 in Toyota badging and bodywork. It's so heavily influenced when you lift up the hood. They didn't even try to cover up the BMW emblems and badges and everything else that are under the hood. All the part numbers, when you look at the actual parts, have BMW part numbers on them. Now, the sharing goes as far as using the infotainment system from the BMW. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because Toyota is pretty new to the game on a certain aspect with these infotainment systems. And what I'm talking about is the Apple CarPlay. Toyota hasn't offered Apple CarPlay in any of their vehicles until 2019, so it's relatively new to them. When they started using the BMW infotainment system from the Z4, they automatically had access to the BMW's infotainment system, which is relatively good and easy to use for the user, but it also comes with Apple CarPlay and wireless Apple CarPlay, which I don't think wireless CarPlay even is available on any other Toyota model, or Lexus for that fact. Could be wrong, but I don't think it is. So in order to get Apple CarPlay in the Supra, you have to opt for the 3.0 Premier or the Launch Edition. Now, we all know the Launch Edition is going to be limited in numbers, so more than likely, after they're all gone, you'll have to get the 3.0 Premier. It's going to come with the 8.8-inch touchscreen, which is how you get the Apple CarPlay. Sorry to all you people that are buying the base Supra, that comes with the 6.5-inch touchscreen, I believe, and it does not have the capability of having Apple CarPlay. So you have to get the 3.0 Premier in order to be eligible for Apple CarPlay. Now, with the Apple CarPlay, like I said, you're going to get the option to have wireless CarPlay, which is pretty cool, so you don't have to have your phone plugged into it. So not only is the infotainment system in the Supra different from the rest of the Toyota Lexus lineup, but how you get the Apple CarPlay itself is also going to be different. Now let's go back over to the BMW side real quick and take a look at what BMW is doing with their infotainment system and Apple CarPlay. So over on the BMW side, they have pretty much instituted a subscription-based Apple CarPlay system. I don't think it's on all of their vehicles, but it's definitely going to be on the Z4, which is where this is coming from. What they're doing is, for the first year of ownership on the BMW side, you get Apple CarPlay as a free trial. After that, it's $80 a year. They are also adding an option where you can pay a one-time $300 fee and you get Apple CarPlay for 20 years. But if you don't want to pay the $300 up front, in order to continue after the 1 year is up, you then have to pay $80 a year. So from the BMW aspect, in order for that $300 upfront fee to basically be worth it, you have to own your BMW for 5 years. First year is going to be free, so it doesn't kick in until year number 2, 3, 4, and just about to the 5-year mark is when you would finally hit that $300 if you were continuing to do $80 a month. So then anything from 5 years on would all pretty much be free and paid for at that point until you hit the 20-year mark. So how does that affect the 2020 Toyota Supra? Well, Toyota is adopting a version of BMW's infotainment system slash pay for Apple CarPlay. In a way. So with the Supra, you don't get 1 year of free trial subscription. Now, Toyota is actually going to be a little bit more generous than that, and they're going to give you 4 years. So you get to use Apple CarPlay in your new 2020 Toyota Supra for up to 4 years. Now, after that 4 years is up, they haven't actually announced anything of pricing-wise or what actual strategy they're going to be using going forward after that. So I think now this is just me personally, what I think they're doing is they're paying attention to what's happening over on the BMW side with their customers and this whole pay for Apple CarPlay. They're going to gauge the reaction from BMW's customers to see how it goes, which may or may not be fair, because when you're considering the Toyota Supra and a BMW Z4, you're not really talking about the same customer. They're actually different customers, even though the cars are pretty much the same. So what I think is happening is, if the BMW customers bitch too loudly about this whole subscription-based thing, Toyota may just do away with it and just give it to the Supra owners. Now, if there's no controversy with it with the BMW side, or they're not bitching about it or anything, complaining, and then they're just paying it, which I would imagine most people are just going to pay the $300 fee and go for it, then Toyota may institute some type of a one-time fee or a lower subscription-based system. That's just what I think, like I said, and nothing has been determined on the Toyota side, and they haven't come out and said anything. So time will tell with that. But I still think it's pretty ridiculous that with the rest of the Toyota and Lexus lineup, you don't have to pay for it. But here you are with the Toyota Supra. If you are buying that and you're the customer for that, then there's a possibility you're going to have to pay for Apple CarPlay, which is just freaking ridiculous. Now, if you're an Android user and you're looking for Android Auto, there's no word on that. I believe the infotainment system is compatible with all Android devices, but there has been nothing said on the BMW side or the Toyota side whether or not they're going to be charging for a subscription-based system for the Android user. So you guys may be in the clear on that. Now, in closing, does any of this really matter? Yeah, a lot of people are going to be buying the Supra, but in the end, with the announcement of the C8 Corvette, that's pretty much the better buy anyways. You're going to get a better car, more horsepower, it's going to be faster, and it's not much more money. So I think a lot of the sales of the people that were going to buy this new Supra are actually going to go over to the C8 mid-engine Corvette because of what it is and the price point. So I think it was pretty good on Chevrolet's part to announce it when they did, right as the Supras are just now starting to hit dealer showrooms, you know, kind of steal those customers away. So now those customers are going to be like, whoa, wait a minute, I think I might wait a year and see what happens with this C8, and then make a decision from there, which would be good all around, because then the hype of the Supra is going to die down, the price is going to come down. Like I mentioned earlier, you ain't going to be paying $30,000, $40,000 over MSRP, and you probably will be dealing with that on the C8. So time will tell. I was all about the Supra at first, not really because I work within Toyota's corporate headquarters, but because I liked the car. I thought it looked pretty decent, and it was pretty good for what it is, and it's obviously more capable than what Toyota said it was. And I also thought that the new C8 Corvette was going to be a hell of a lot more money. But once I heard the reveal and that it's starting out just under $60,000, it kind of changed my mind, and I'm kind of thinking more towards a C8. But time will tell. Yeah, I'd like one. I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you're following Offbeat Motors over on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I post on Instagram quite a bit, not so much Twitter and Facebook. Probably should, but here nor there. But really appreciate you guys watching the video, and stay tuned for more videos coming forward.